Okay, Doc, we're going to go over your video here from the lesson. And the first thing we notice, this is day 2 where you've moved in a little bit closer, and the way to check that is that your arms are hanging down below your shoulders. There's not a lot of space in here. When you first started on day 1, you were standing too far, and that's causing the club to get too far inside this way and too flat. So by moving you in, we moved you up. Now, by moving you in, you were able to swing more up. Okay. I would still be aware of my left hand grip and keep it in a little bit of a stronger position. That is, the left hand turned a little more to the right. This particular picture of your grip here, which is from yesterday, is a little too weak. So I moved that grip over a little bit. That left hand has to be moved slightly to the right. I prefer for you a stronger grip for more distance and a more consistent draw. Okay. Now here, your posture is excellent. You got a right amount of knee bend, arms hanging from the shoulders, and your weight's balanced pretty much over the balls of your feet there. What we've got to watch is getting the club up, and that's pretty good up right there, as you turn, and that's pretty good right there. And then as you come down, we want to try to eliminate some of this steepness. See, what you did here is, this should actually be transitioning in a similar angle to the first plane line here, the blue line. In other words, these lines should be pretty much the same. So we have to watch that. As you come down, you don't want to let your whole body kind of run forward. You want to drive more with your lower body to start out. Okay, and you'll be able to do that if we can get this club to come down like this a little bit better. So basically, if you think about it, what you need to do is get your backswing a little more upright, with your downswing a little bit flatter. And we're going to take a look at that. We're going to take a look at watch the club here. I want to trace this club head, okay? I'm just going to put a little trace on this club head here. See what that club head does? It just kind of really lays down. Just the club head, watch. The club is really laying down, isn't it? You see the angle that he's on about halfway down? Now his is an extreme one. He does that for a reason, obviously. But his is an extreme one, but ideally we get it pointed at the ball or a little bit outside the ball. What we'd want to get from you is a little less of this steepness with the flying elbow back. See his elbow right tucked against his side? See your elbow flying back out this way? That's part of the challenge of getting the club down. That club wood should be laying down at a little, I call it laying down, or getting a little flatter. See, it's steep. It's vertical, right? So we want to get the verticality out of that first part of the downswing, because that opens the face. Now you took a club here, which is really in a fairly square position. You see this face right here? That's called square, and that's in pretty good shape. But when you pull down like this, Elmo, you just opened it. Now it's in an open position. Okay? So watch Sergio here. When he comes down, your face is down more this way, and his face is much more this way, coming off the club, and that's what you want. And the way that happened was you pulled the shaft down kind of steeply. So in continuing your progress here, what I want to do is get your elbow down a little closer and feel like you can get that shaft lay down. So you have to do that from the position that you're in, though. That's going to be the key here, is to get a little bit of a flatter transition. And above all, going back to your other, you want to make sure that when you get here, the lower body just never stops coming down. So we're going to start down with a little flatter transition, tuck the elbow in. So you have a fairly early release there, my friend. And we're definitely going to fight on getting this chicken wing out of there. Okay? This chicken wing is a result of flipping that club too early. So if you get the club in a little flatter position and can hold on to your angle just a little bit more as the body turns through, we're going to be much better shape. You've got to feel a way, even if you get up there and hit some balls, get this left arm extended. Even if you hit some fat, you would correct it by more motion of your body coming through the ball. I'm going to show you what I mean. See, when he comes down here, the left arm really gets extended, and the way he can do that is that the body is so aggressive going through the ball that there's plenty of room to swing his arms down full, you see? See, if I put a little circle here, and then watch. Look how high his shoulder just went here compared to where it was. Now he did that because his shoulders are on a pitch and he kept turning the body. That allowed him enough room to get this arm in this condition straight with the club and still not hit it fat. You see, what happens to you guys a lot of times is if the body quits, then you see how the, well, I'll show you in this sense, Elmo. Let's do it the way we did it here. Look at that. How could you extend your arm if your shoulder's not getting up out of the road like that? Okay, don't let this get too technical or complicated, but your shoulder never went up. So you'd have hit the ground if you didn't restrict your arm like this, or retract your arm, or bend it, or chicken wing it, I call it. So you're doing that for a reason. You're doing that to not hit the ground. And the correction would be, to not hit the ground, the correction would not be bend your arm. It would be keep turning your body, which would send your left shoulder more up in the air and give you that much more room to reach the ball. That's the key to your downswing right now. We've got to get this really active in here, the lower body much more active in here, so that you have room to extend without having to hit the ground. Right now, if your body quits like this and you don't send that left shoulder up, you're going to hit it fat every time, and your reaction to fat will be this chicken wing. So what I also ought to mention to you, I meant to say this during the school, is that I want to give you one free private lesson, no charge, and that's for putting that group together. Okay, so you got to come see me the next time you're here, or I don't know when you're leaving on this trip, but I want to get your legs really active and your arms really extended. Okay. So let's go back and review then what we have. Okay, you're standing closer. Your posture is really good. Strengthen your left hand grip a little bit. Okay. I want you to feel like the club transitions a little flatter. Like it's, I was giving this lesson to your friend, well, actually there's three of you in that group that do this. You and Joe and Bobby. all tend to get the club pointed too far to the right, and whenever it crosses the line and points to the right, like if your target's out here, your club is pointed over this way. Whenever it gets pointed like that, it's always going to transition too steep. So we want to tuck that elbow in, close the gap between the arms, and lay the club off a little bit. That's going to be another way that you can get through the ball without hitting it fat. This club right here, unless you chicken wing to some degree or be very aggressive and pop up out of it, can't hit the ground. So you had it, we don't want to get it there. We want to get it laying down a little bit more in this mode and get you more active through the ball with full extension of your arms. Okay? So that's where we're at with it right now there, brother. And you have to spend more time on, because I know for a fact that how much you want to improve. So you got to resist the urge, so to speak, to play all the time, and spend a little more time on the practice screen so we can get rid of some of these habits. Because this is a power outage, and it's a lack of consistency. So drive through the ball, extend the arms. Just send me a video, and I want to see those both arms extended. But I'm going to give you a complimentary lesson for putting this group together. So you call me if I don't know when you're in town. If you're in town tomorrow. Well, anyway, just let me know. All right, Elmo, thanks a lot. It was great seeing you, and I look forward to working with you in the fall again when you get back down to Naples.